What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now Plus. I'm Alex, and in this video, it's time we do a follow-up to Resident Evil Village. Seems like every 2 to 3 days I make a video. Sorry about that, but this is something that's very, to me, interesting. If you've been following me on this channel or on Podcast Now, you'll know where I stand on kind of next-gen games, in that I don't really like the slow transition, the potential of it taking years to get to next-gen games. I'm more of a give us next-gen experiences on those next-gen consoles. More like, though, give us a reason to buy next-gen consoles. I don't want to really come off the wrong way where it's like I'm demanding everybody spends $400, $500, $600 to get all of the consoles and all of the accessories and all that stuff. I mean, I get it. Not everybody has it. And honestly, this is not a good time in the world for this to even be happening. But with Resident Evil, they're doing something, and even in terms of what they're saying, very, very differently. So remember, the history of Resident Evil Village is it was announced June, and when it was talked about, only next gen was talked about, and it very much came off like they were only doing next gen, like a next gen game, which to me was like, thank God, right? Like we just, again, going into this upcoming year, honestly, like Demon Souls, maybe Ratchet and Clank, Horizon we know is on PS4. I know I'm talking about PlayStation, but even you look at Microsoft, firstly, there's not a lot of games out, in general. I guess there's the medium, right? But even like third-party games, there's not a lot of games that we know. In fact, there's zero that are only on next gen. Far Cry is on current gen and next gen. Hitman, Prince of Persia is actually only on current gen. So all of these games are either only on or also on current gen. Okay, so again, why would you get next gen at least right away? Okay, that's my argument. So for Resident Evil, I was like, you know what? Bold, because I get it. It's not going to sell as many. If it only comes out on next gen, you will not sell as many units. Factually, you will just not, because you have, combining the Xbox One and the PS5, you probably have around 160, 170 million consoles out there. Now, obviously, you're not selling to all of them. You'll sell maybe 5 to 10 million units, which is pretty darn good for Resident Evil and kind of actually in line with what they've done in the past. But if you do it only on next gen, well, by the time it comes out, say Series X, S, and PS5 combined, there may only be like 10 million units sold. Maybe, let's say 15 or 20. Again, if you're selling it to maybe like 10% of that, well, now you got like 2 million. So, I mean, it's definitely a massive, massive risk to do something like that, because you are starting out with not as many people. Although you may be guaranteed that more people get your game because there's just not a lot to play on that console. That's the kind of push-pull with the situation. But Resident Evil obviously appeared at TGS, and they talked about how they're making no promises, but they're looking for a way to see if this game can be on PS4 and Xbox One. They talked about how this is a game really designed for next gen, and so again, they're making no promises. So again, this is extremely, firstly, that's weird. Nobody really said, only Capcom really says things like that, with saying we're looking into it, but we can't make any promises. However, we'll do our best creating a top-tier experience on current gen consoles. So again, that's just not something that a lot of game developers say. Again, I actually kind of like that, and here's the deal. And so Mohammed, right, if he's watching, great guy. We message on Twitter. He really loves Resident Evil. We talk about it quite often. We were kind of going back and forth, and he asked me, this is a good question, and I do honestly want to talk about it in this video, so shout out to him. You think the chances are high that you're upset that it's another game that's potentially going to be cross-gen? So again, I've been that kind of guy that's been a little anti that. I feel like that's kind of what's making me pretty unique on the internet right around now. But so to answer that, but to also again kind of finish off this video and kind of close out my argument, I feel a lot better about Resident Evil than almost any other game. When Horizon, and now again, it's basically who you trust, because yeah, Capcom could be lying, Sony could be lying, they could be telling the truth, but with Horizon, the game looked like it was definitely, and we only have the trailer, not a lot to go off of for Horizon Forbidden West. Trailer looks amazing. I'm in love with it. I cannot wait to get the game. It looks like a sizable step up, but it looks very familiar still with the original Horizon. Well, then it came out, and I thought it was only a PS5 game. Like, it was made from the ground up for PS5, only coming out on PS5. It would leave the PS4 behind. They announced that, no, it's going to be on both. But then they said, now this is after all the talk of them saying we believe in generations, that like you have to leave one behind. So again, they're already lying to us. They're already doing stuff like that. And then they say, well, the game is being built for the ground on the ground up, like from the ground up for PS5, and we're going to make it work for PS4. Now, like again, you can, I'm sure, like if you optimize something, I'm sure you can just flip some switches and downgrade some stuff and get it to PS4, but I don't think it's literally that easy. If you're truly making this game for next gen, every boundary has been pushed now for next gen. Everything. And again, things that I can't even explain because I'm not in the game development world. But you can just picture it, right? Not even just like draw distances or graphics, but things with lighting, things with loading, things with I don't know, maybe like some complex AI system. Who knows? Who knows? But I assume that next gen stuff can get you very, very far. So to be able to just downgrade, I do not. I think it's way, way easier to upgrade than it is to downgrade. If you have the PS4 version, it was built for the PS4, and then you flip some switches, raised all the graphics or whatever, all the specs to like the highest level, then you can get yourself to the PS5. You know what I mean? Now again, obviously that's like a stupid person. That's me telling you guys how it works or how I think it works. Obviously it may not be exactly like that, but I can almost guarantee you it's way easier to go from low to high rather than high to low. So when Sony tells me that, I don't believe them. I don't believe that game was made for PS5 and then they're going to downgrade it in every way to get it to work on the PS4. Okay, I just factually do not think they're actually telling the truth there. Resident Evil, again, the way they're talking does kind of back up the fact that, yeah, maybe this was literally made for next gen, which again, I will pat them on the back. I will support them every day of the week for making that decision. Now, could it get them in some trouble if they want it to come to current gen to boost sales? Yeah, because again, and this is actually proof, by the way, this could be proof that Sony's lying, because if this is true, then yeah, they're basically admitting, well, look, the whole thing, like from start of development on, we were planning on a next gen thing. So everything built in this game is probably using the advantages that next gen gives you. And so then to make it go on current gen is a lot harder than if they made it on current gen first and then upped everything. You know what I mean? I honestly feel like this is kind of proof that Sony isn't telling the truth and that maybe Capcom is. Okay, now again, I'm not saying Sony's evil. I'm going to buy Horizon, so I don't want to make this like an anti-Sony video. I love Horizon. I love Sony. I'm buying the PS5. I'm buying Horizon. But this is all really interesting with Resident Evil, how it's all gone. I do believe them. And so if they do make it on PS4 and Xbox One, what I'll say is I probably won't be all that mad. And people may say, oh man, you're a hypocrite because you call all of these companies out. But again, look at how they're saying it. They're not even promising that they're going to do it. They're saying, we'll look into it. If it's possible, we'll do it. If it's not, we're not doing it. That's pretty darn solid. And even if they do get the game, honestly, if they do get the game on current gen, I feel like Resident Evil Village could be the biggest game example early on in the next gen cycle of a game that looks so, the comparison videos, and sometimes you literally can't, sometimes you can, but sometimes you can't tell a difference between them. I think for a Resident Evil, you would most definitely be able to see a difference in them. I guarantee it, because I feel like that's kind of the path we're going. Like, we would see the PS5, Xbox Series X version, we'd be like, holy Jesus, and then we'd see PS4 and Xbox One and be like, wow, look at the major differences. And again, for like a game like Horizon, I don't know if we would necessarily get that. Just speculation, just my opinion. But guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you think that Capcom's telling the truth here? Do you think it will come to current gen consoles? Let me know. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed, have the bell icon turned on so you know when all these videos go up. And I do a brand new video on this channel every single day. Most likely gonna take a break from Resident Evil, right? Unless we get some more Dust Golem leaks, which, by the way, seemingly that part of it was right, so I credit him there. But I'll obviously make videos if there's more Resident Evil stuff. Maybe we can take a little bit of a break for it to do some different things over the next little while. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you all on the next video.